Hello, and welcome to the 16th edition of the Meyer Musics. Today is January 24th, 2016. In management, please remember to sign up for January 25th or tomorrow's PD session. There are two sections, standards work and the NTL review. Bring your laptops. We're asking folks to complete a short survey. This is going to provide our standards advisory team feedback onto how we can prepare for our upcoming work days when it comes to working on our units of study. Also, report cards are due before midnight on Monday the 25th. This week there'll be a staff meeting Tuesday at 8 o'clock for teachers in K2. It'll be in Nick's room, working on iPads again. And for grades 3-5, it'll be in Jenny Dixon's room, and they will be focusing on Google Classroom. We're trying to get you some feedback right away and some PD so that you are in the loop. So when we make the change over next year to one-to-ones and those iPads, we'll have a better idea of what we're doing. This past week, I've been working on exploring a partnership. I met with our PTA president and VP because they were asking about outside partnerships, and I wanted to find a focus. So we sat down and created a vision. We're going to share more of that in the next week. That way we can branch off a little bit and work on developing community involvement with the students. Bathroom monitoring. Please remember to have students sign out and sign in, and also teachers check when all the students are out. It's so very important that we do this. We have occasional problems here and there, but if we are diligent about signing in and out and checking when students are all out, that helps us out a ton. Next, expectations. Please be purposeful with your activities. I know that now that we're having 2 recesses and that little extra lunch, it's very important that we have everything that is purposeful. I want to give students breaks and teachers breaks, but it's so important that we are working with students, whether it be one-to-one or in small groups. We only have so much time, and it's important that we're not sitting idle. Like, for example, in the mornings, kids are coming in. Those are some great seat work, things up on the board to get them thinking. All these different types of things. It's very important that we don't just not utilize that time. So all that, it's just important that we work together on pushing our students when we have the time. Holiday party. It's Friday, January 29th at 4 p.m. at Poor Richards. Please RSVP on the Google Doc that Dana sent out. Thank you, Dana, and organizing that. And then visitors are coming from Wisconsin to look at RTI. They're coming Friday at 11 o'clock. They want some feedback on how to implement, so they want to hear about our story and Olson Middle School. In instruction, I've been working on our principles. We've been reading Embedding Formative Assessment with Willem and Lehigh 2015, and I want to share a few things that struck a chord with me. No hands up except to ask a question. This is the engaged students. Choose students at random. You put names or numbers on sticks. Many of you probably do this. Pull a stick, but place it back, and then put a divider in the cup so that the kids, if their stick's pulled, that they don't say, oh, I'm off the hook. It's about getting them engaged. And then once you do that for 2 students, then call on volunteers so that those students are still involved. Otherwise, they won't raise their hands much anymore or want to volunteer anymore. And then there's one that's called the no opt-out, and this is for open-ended questions. Basically, if a student is struggling, you have them get responses from all sorts of people, and you go back to that person and say which was the best answer and why. It's just a way to, it's not that you're trying to let them off the hook, but as much as you want to say that their input is important and it engages them. And some kids, they need to hear all of people's responses, other kids' responses, and then they can provide their answer or their best guess. Under learning supports, as you know, we're connecting up with the community of the Cross Lutheran Church for a partnership to help feed our students during the weekends. Jenny Deravingas will schedule a learning supports meeting so that we can discuss logistics for working with that faith-based organization. I'm really excited about this. Again, we have to figure out who we want to see, who ask if we have who we want to ask to see if they need support, and then we have to hand them sign-up sheets and permission slips and whatnot. So we want to start working on those logistics because we'd like to start in probably about 2 weeks. Well, that's it for now. I hope you had a great weekend. Thank you, and I look forward to another great week.